Hi guys, White Witch 110 here. I'm going to continue the story. Just a reminder, Abigail was in the shower and Jace knocked on the door and opened it up. Yes? Babe, nice song. He peeked round the shower curtain. Join me, she invited. Jace stepped in. The water was warm. You look beautiful, he kissed her. Amazing again. Seductive and another. Jace, the words were finally there. I love you. He had waited for those 3 words. His passion engulfed her. Finally dressed, they rehearsed their songs. There was a knock at the door. Is Abigail here? Nicole? Nicole! It was her cousin. She had flown out for a visit. Abby! They hugged. Where's Sage? Jace remembered the name. He was an ex of hers. He's swamped at work. He couldn't get away. Nicole, this is Jace. Jace, this is my cousin Nicole. Her father owned the cabin. It's a beautiful place, he told her. Thank you. Dad and Uncle Nick built it. That's Abby's dad. Jace was connecting the dots. Mind if I crash? Silly woman, you know you don't need to ask. There they were, the 3 chatting away. They had dinner around 6, then kept talking. Abigail excused herself. This gave Jace a chance. I understand she's had a hard time of it, relationship-wise. That is an understatement. Did she tell you? Between her and Joe, I'm sure there's still more she'll say in time. I'll tell you what she won't. She was raped by her boyfriend. Jace hadn't expected that. The one who had the knife? Yes, that's him. There's other stuff, but she'll tell you. Nicole went silent when Abby entered the room. What were you saying? Nicole, I see it on your face. Please don't get upset. I told Jace about... She didn't need to finish. I would have said it soon. She looked at Jace. A part of my life I'd rather forget. Jace held her hand. I just had to step away for a second. Where was I? I would have said it sooner. She looked at Jace. A part of my life I'd rather forget. Jace held her hand. I wish I could have been there for you. You're here now. Nicole noted the connection that was absent in her relationship with Scott. This could be the real thing. The way her cousin looked at him, the way he spoke to Abby, this was a major change. That first night she called Sage as promised. Abby says hi. And this Jace guy? I have to admit, he's a great guy. Sage, there's a notable difference between them. There was never this, I can't explain, between her and Scott. I think he's the one. Wish I was there, he said. Nicole knew his frustration. They always traveled together. Keep me updated. Zoom me so I can see this guy. I can't do that now. I have a photo I can send. Nicole clicked and off it went. You got it? He looks all right. Not too young. They look good together. Sage felt a slight jealousy. Nicole knew and expected it. She wasn't worried. They light up when they look at each other. Like us, Sage said. Yes. I need to get some sleep. I'll call you later. Nicole woke up late. she could hear Abigail singing, and Jace. Quietly, coming down the stairs, she seen them on the sofa. Abby was having trouble with part of a song. Jace was making suggestions. Soon, she overcame the difficulty. You two sound amazing together. Thank you. Jace jumped in. Another hug between cousins. I talked with Sage last night. He says hello. He still won't be able to get away. Sally was off to Toronto for a concert. Scott had prior commitments at home. He had heard through a friend about Abigail singing at Dan's. Trish, when are they there? Next Saturday, the waitress answered. He knew the time, just required the day. Wife was out of town. He could do this. It had worked every time, and it would now. Rehearsals went well at the bar. Dan was very pleased. He hasn't been anywhere near here, Dan informed the couple in regards to Scott. That's a relief, Jace said. I don't want you stressed. He looked at Abigail. That fact still didn't calm her nerves. She knew Scott better than any of them. She knew he'd find his way in. Abigail and Jace were on stage, going over a song. Dan and Nicole were at the bar. So what do you think? Dan inquired of her cousin. I think he's the one. I've never, ever seen her like this before. Even with Scott, there was always something missing. I don't see that here. She was honest. I thought the same thing, he agreed. The two teased each other on stage. They sang badly, then laughed, then got serious. Finished for the day, they kissed, making way to the bar. Sounds great, guys, Nicole said. You realize, my dear, I'll have to have you two back. May even be a regular thing, Dan said. It can't be, Nicole told him. Scott's here. True. I'm getting tired of the same songs. I'd like some fresh vocals. Dan was making his choice. Friday night, Scott came in for his usual session. Anything new? Scott asked. Dan knew he was probing and realized he knew. I'm going to be straight. I don't want you anywhere near here this weekend. I don't want any trouble. I understand. I won't make waves, he promised. Dan was going to keep his guard up. In bed, in the quiet of the darkness, they talked. How are you for tomorrow? Abigail asked, a little nervous. New crowd. I'll be fine once on stage. How are you about it? I'm with you, babe. Abby kept looking. What? He smiled with a chuckle. Have I told you I love you? She gazed lovingly. Not in the last hour. I love you. They kissed. One thing led to another. Sleep was secondary. The love they made was always rich and warm. Never in haste, always slow and thoughtful. Jace was not a selfish lover. Both enjoyed equality. When morning arrived, the day was to be overcast. Neither were bothered. The show was to begin at 6 p.m. at dinner, an extra cost. They were there at 3. Ready, Abs? Dan asked. As ever, she replied. How about you, Jason? No problem. He placed his arm around Abigail. They had something light to eat and one drink. As 6 approached, All got closer. Abigail was tense. I know he's here somewhere, she told Jace. I can feel it. I think it's nerves. Dan promised. I know Scott. He'll find a way. Hey, you're with me. I'll make sure all is fine. He slipped away while Abby chatted with Nicole. Dan. He was by the bar. She's sure Scott is here. I haven't seen him. I'll keep an eye open. Oops. 6 o'clock. The spotlight came on Dan. He took center stage. Good evening. Glad to have you all here. What better thing to do on a winter evening, eh? Tonight we have the pleasure of a voice we have not heard in a long time. 4 years, can you believe it? Well, she has a fantastic partner with her. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Abigail and Jace. The applause were thunderous. Jace was taken back. They began their set. Dan scanned the crowd. No sign of Scott. He relaxed. Trish had given Scott a booth at the back of the bar. She knew at the back of the restaurant. She knew from the bar Dan would not be able to see that space. He had always said it. Thanks, Trish. I'll have the usual, Scott said. Off she went, being careful to keep away from Dan. As the evening wore on, the crowd grew. It was standing room only. Dan had no choice but to close off entry. The final song was Thirsty. Scott edged his way along the wall on the west side. There was no chance he'd be seen. Up a couple of back stairs, and he was there. The mood was romantic. Jace and Abigail held hands. A third voice could now be heard. Dan ran into action. Abigail and Jace kept singing. The crowd was confused. Dan reached Scott, grabbing the mic. What the hell do you think you're doing? Abigail and Jace finished the song, bowed, and left the stage. The crowd dispersed in an orderly fashion. Abby, I don't know how he got in. Dan was panicked. He had promised this wouldn't happen. You ruined it. On purpose, you ruined it. Where's your wife? Away. Figures. Abigail got right up in his face. You aren't going to run us out of here. I want you to leave me, alone. I will never go back to you. Get that through your thick head. Scott, there will never be an us again. She stormed off. It was Jace's turn now. I can understand you still want her, but we're together. We're happy. So leave her the hell alone. Get the answer through, okay, old man? The last word slipped from his mouth. You'll finish the dates per contract. Then we're done. And when I find out who let you in, they're gone too. Dan had never been this upset. Scott said not a word. There was no sense in it. He couldn't change this. Tell you what, I'll make this easy on us all. I won't be back. Scott stormed off. Jace came quickly to Dan. I can't find her. Call her, he said, dialing. No answer. They looked at each other. She can't be far, Jace commented. I'm worried. Dan stopped himself. Would he? Jace asked. No, but there was a second thought. Dan brought the phone to his ear. Bring her back, he shouted. She's not with me. Scott turned his car around. She's not with him. Her coat and pack are gone. Jace threw his coat on. She can't be far. Off he went. Scott showed up, pushing through the back door he knew would open. Dan was out in the bar. All right, he shouted. I want to know who let him in. There were strict instructions not to. You may as well fess up now, because so help me, I'll find out. The staff stood stunned at the outburst. None had ever seen him like this. Well, do I need to fire all of you? I'll do it if I have to. He was serious. It was me, a small voice said. Trish, get your things. You're fired. You were all warned not to let that bastard in. Let this be an example if you don't listen. I don't require your service. It's not her fault. Scott came from behind the curtains. Don't fire her. Dan whipped around. Get out. It's not her fault, Scott insisted. This is my establishment and my staff. She knew better. She was told. Trish got her things from her locker. I'm sorry, Dan. She left for the parking lot. I'm saying this one last time. Get out and don't dare come back. I'll help find her. No, Dan shouted. Jay stormed in the front doors. You bastard. He went directly to Scott. I can't find her. You better pray she shows up. Get the fuck out of my sight before I do something. His fists at his side. The bouncers escorted Scott out. Calm down, Jace. We'll find her. Jace shook in anger. Where is she, Dan? The men went out, covering separate areas of the city. The bartenders and waitresses joined in. They all loved Abigail. Dan, I found her. She's at the park 5 blocks away. Dennis, a bartender, informed him. Thanks, I'll call Jace. Stay there till we get there. If she leaves, let me know. Seconds later, Dan's phone rang. She seen my car and took off west. Abigail had gone into the woods. The 3 searched the area. She was nowhere to be found. And yes, I'm going to leave it there. Leave you hanging. Because I don't have many more pages here to read. So I'm going to have to add to it now. So I hope you enjoyed that. And as usual, if I haven't read what I've written before I read it to you, I can stumble over some of the parts. That's just a fact of life. So until the next time, ciao for now.